Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your source for pulling out the critical insights from often pretty dense research.
Glad to be here.
So today, we're tackling a bit of a paradox, actually. You've got this huge potential of artificial intelligence on one side, and then on the other, just this, well, overwhelming confusion it seems to cause for small and medium-sized businesses, SMBs, the backbone of the economy.
Yeah, it's a real disconnect we're seeing.
Technology is, it's undeniably reshaping everything, every industry, and it offers SMBs these incredible opportunities, doesn't it? Automation, streamlining, insights that used to be only for the big guys.
Absolutely. The potential is there.
The sources we looked at really highlight this major bottleneck. How does a small business owner, someone totally strapped for time, get from seeing AI as this complex, vague, overwhelming thing to actually using it for practical results now?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Exactly. And that's our mission for this deep dive. We're digging into one very specific idea, a personalized, one-time, 30-minute one-on-one AI knowledge sharing session. Can this kind of focused intervention really work? Can it actually shortcut that journey from just being curious to being capable?
It's a fascinating model to dissect, primarily because it hits that key constraint for SMB owners head-on time.
Right.
Our sources are pretty clear that AI integration, it's not just some passing tech trend. It's becoming an economic inevitability.
Yeah.
To really set the stage, you got to remember Professor Andrew Napshin, co-founder of Google Brain, he put it perfectly, AI is the new electricity. His point was, just like electricity totally transformed almost everything about 100 years ago, AI is set to do the same thing today. We're talking fundamental infrastructure, not just a fancy add-on.
And the data backs that up, doesn't it? SMBs are already plugged in, so to speak.
Yeah.
One key report we analyzed from McKinsey in 2023 found that 44%, nearly half of SMBs worldwide, have already put some kind of AI into their operations.
Wow, 44%.
Yeah. This isn't some future prediction. It's happening now. Accounting, retail, manufacturing, they're using it.
Exactly. So the adoption's happening, but, and this is the crucial part, the quality of that implementation, it's all over the place.
Oh.
And that brings us to what some call the SMB gap. Why are the standard existing solutions often failing these smaller businesses?
Okay, yeah, let's break that down. Why do they fail?
Well, the sources point to a few main reasons. First, those big off-the-shelf enterprise AI tools, they're often way too expensive.
Okay. Wow.
And they usually need a ton of data cleanup before they even work properly, which, let's face it, most small businesses just don't have the time or people for.
Right.
Second, there's often a dependency on proprietary cloud services. That raises flags about data security, control, things independent owners worry about.
Yeah.
And finally, you've got online courses. They might seem cheap, but they take up so much time, and they're almost never tailored to your specific business, your daily grind, You could spend 40 hours learning theory when what you really need is a fix you can use tomorrow.
Okay, so that failure of the generic stuff makes this idea of a super focused 30-minute session pretty interesting. The hook is no previous AI experience needed.
Right.
The promise is basically cutting through all that complexity and just focusing on finding, designing, and maybe launching automations that actually fit a small business right away. But let's be real here, 30 minutes. That sounds, almost too short, doesn't it? If the goal is actual implementation, something that sticks, are you just sacrificing quality or depth for speed? What's the trade-off?
That's the key question, and actually the sources tackle it directly. That 30-minute limit, it's not arbitrary, it's kind of a deliberate psychological design.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, think about it. For an SMB owner, committing to some huge, months-long AI project, that often leads to decision paralysis. It's just too much.
Yeah, analysis paralysis.
Exactly. So a short, clearly defined session like this, it removes that big initial barrier. It turns this massive AI thing into a single manageable decision. Okay, I can do 30 minutes.
Gotcha.
So the value proposition isn't about becoming an AI expert in half an hour. It's about getting immediate, actionable output with really low risk.
Okay.
And to make that happen, the source material lays out 5 specific things, 5 deliverables that have to happen in that short session for it to be truly effective.
All right, walk us through them. If time's the big constraint, what are these 5 must-haves to get the most out of that half hour?
Okay, first, the expert has to assess the unique processes, the workflows, the specific challenges of your business.
Yeah.
This can't be generic.
Tailored.
Right. Second, they identify the single most beneficial and feasible area for automation. And feasible is key here. It means keeping integration costs low and avoiding massive data restructuring. Find the low-hanging fruit.
Makes sense. What's number 3?
Third, they actually help design an initial automation that fits right into your existing setup, your technical tools, your operational limits. No big, expensive overhauls allowed. The idea is to use what you've already got, maybe Google Sheets, maybe Slack, and just integrate some AI logic into it.
Okay, but design is one thing. If it stops there, it's just theory, right? So the last 2 must be about actually doing something.
Precisely. Fourth, the expert has to guide you through the practical, immediate steps to implement it. Like, what's the very first thing you click? What's the first action you take the moment that call ends?
Actionable steps. Got it.
And fifth, they simplify the whole concept. Break down the complex AI stuff into simple recommendations you can act on. Give the owner a clear, low-risk path forward for immediate use. No jargon, just results.
Okay, that framework makes sense. Let's shift to results then. Where are SMBs actually seeing the biggest wins, the fastest returns from these kinds of tailored automations?
Good question.
Looking at business functions, sales and marketing seems like a big one. AI automating email campaigns, doing lead scoring, optimizing social media posts.
Yeah, that's huge. And the tech behind that is often machine learning. It analyzes thousands of past customer interactions to predict, which new leads are actually worth pursuing. Saves the sales team tons of time chasing dead ends.
Right. And then customer service. That's another area getting a boost, isn't it?
Oh, massively. Simple chatbots, streamlined FAQ systems. Suddenly, your business can answer basic questions 204/7 without needing a person there.
How does that work?
It usually uses something called natural language processing, NLP. Basically, it understands what customers are asking in plain language. Simple questions get answered by the bot. Only the tricky stuff gets escalated to a human. Frees people up.
And what about the back office, like operations?
Yeah, big changes there too. AI handling inventory, processing invoices, scheduling appointments. Pretty much any repetitive task involving moving data or comparing things, that can often be easily automated now. Keeps things running smoothly with less manual effort.
Okay.
And maybe the most surprising one for some is data analysis. Generating easy-to-read reports, forecasts, that used to mean hiring a specialist.
Right. Expensive.
Now, generative AI can often take raw data, interpret it, and spit out summaries with actionable insights. Makes strategic thinking much more accessible for the owner who just doesn't have hours to dig through spreadsheets.
Okay, so lots of applications. But let's talk bottom line. That Forrester study cited in our materials, it put a number on it, didn't it?
It did, and it's a compelling one. SMBs using these AI-powered automations reported up to a 20% decrease in operational costs.
20%. That's significant. A huge number for a small business.
But hang on, does that 20% saving account for the cost of actually implementing the AI? What's the ROI look like? Is it immediate or does it take like 6 months to pay off? That's a critical point to clarify. And yes, the sources confirm that the 20% saving comes mostly from basically labor savings, freeing up staff from doing those routine manual tasks.
Okay.
And because this 1.1 consultation model really emphasizes using low-cost or even existing tools, the actual implementation cost is often minimal. Sometimes it's just the consultation fee itself.
So the ROI could be really fast then.
Remarkably fast, yeah. Often within the first month, especially for things like automated data entry or scheduling, where the time saving is immediate and obvious.
Wow.
And there's another benefit mentioned in that study. It wasn't just about cost savings. It also directly correlated with a similar rise in customer satisfaction.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Well, it makes sense, right? When processes get streamlined, there are fewer errors, orders are right more often, questions get answered instantly.
Right.
The whole customer experience just gets smoother, better. And that drives repeat business.
Right. Happy customers, lower costs. It's a powerful combo. Let's make this even more concrete. Those anecdotes we looked at were really telling. The bakery, for example.
Yeah, the neighborhood bakery.
It's amazing how much time can get sucked up just routing basic info, confirming details. You don't realize how much valuable time is trapped in really mundane tasks until you see it automated.
Absolutely.
So this bakery, they were spending hours on the phone,
Yeah.
right? Taking orders, checking details, sending reminders.
Classic time sink.
And with their custom automation, they just integrated an AI chatbot into their existing Facebook Messenger. That's it. Now the bot handles all the order taking, gets the details right, schedules pickup, sends the reminders automatically. Boom. All that trapped time is suddenly free.
It's a perfect example. And then there was the accounting firm.
Right. Similar problem, different context.
Exactly. Manual sorting of client info, data entry.
Yeah.
It just eats up hours for staff who are actually hired to do high-level strategy work for clients.
Yeah, you want your experts doing expert work, not data entry.
Precisely. So automating that data entry, potentially just from one focused consultation, frees up those skilled people to actually advise clients, grow the business. It aligns their time with their actual value.
That makes so much sense.
And this whole approach, this incremental focused strategy, it's backed up by experts in digital strategy. Thomas Davenport and Rajeev Rananki, writing in HBR, they really push this idea of value-driven automation. Their point is basically, don't try to boil the ocean. Focus on fixing specific pain points first. Because, as they put it, small steps in AI can yield outsized results. Especially when you prioritize fixing what hurts most right now rather than just adopting tech for tech's sake.
That focus on value-driven automation, that surgical approach,
Yeah,
that seems to be the core strategic insight here, doesn't it?
I think so.
And it explains why this 30-minute tailored model seems to work. It aligns perfectly with that low-risk incremental strategy. It's not this overwhelming overhaul. It's just a very practical first step. So let's quickly summarize the unique benefits of this kind of approach, specifically for you, the SMB owner listening. First, obviously, affordability.
Right.
It's a one-time low-risk cost. And crucially, the sources stress it avoids those long subscription commitments and vendor lock-ins that can plague bigger solutions.
Yeah, no getting trapped. Second benefit, accessibility.
Right. No experience needed.
0. The expert's job is literally to bridge that knowledge gap. It recognizes that time, not tech knowledge, is usually the scarcest resource for an SMB owner. So it tackles that directly by getting rid of the need for hours of self-study.
Okay. And third,
Customization. The advice you get is immediately relevant, immediately actionable, because it's built around your specific workflow, your problems.
and that's key, isn't it? Because generic tools have that hidden cost all the time you waste trying to make something fit that just doesn't.
Precisely. You waste more time fighting the tool than benefiting from it.
So the big strategic takeaway here for you, our listener, isn't just do AI. It's more about understanding leverage. This short focus session seems to offer a high leverage point. It unlocks immediate wins, like that fast ROI from the 20% cost cut, while also kind of laying the groundwork for maybe bigger, smarter things down the road.
Yeah.
Start small, think big, right?
That's the mantra. Our sources really conclude that for small businesses wanting to thrive, wanting to compete, embracing AI, it's shifted from being optional to being pretty much essential.
Yeah, seems that way.
And this kind of tailored, accessible guidance is maybe the key to making sure businesses of all sizes can actually participate in this shift without breaking the bank or getting totally overwhelmed.
It really is powerful when you think about releasing that trapped time, like the accounting firm example, freeing up smart people from routine work.
It absolutely is. And, that leaves us with a final thought for you to maybe chew on, building directly on those success stories. If you could successfully automate those lowest value, most repetitive tasks in your business, the data entry, the invoice processing, the simple order taking, whatever it is for you, what specific high-value strategic thing, something that's currently getting neglected because nobody has the time, what could AI enable your team to focus on instead? Answering that, that's where the real transformation